Welcome back to BNB Spoilers channel. Today, we embark on a fascinating deep dive into the tangled web of alliances, rivalries, and unforeseen drama that has taken the bold and the beautiful by storm. Our focus is on how personalities clash and destinies intertwine, giving us unforgettable moments and emotional fireworks. Let's unpack every twist, turn, and hidden layer of Monday, April 28's episode, by exploring the story from its end back to its beginning, with fresh perspectives, imaginative embellishments, and creative analysis. At the heart of the episode, Ridge Forrester finds himself caught in the crossfire as two formidable women, Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes, battle not just for his affections but also over pride and the right to leave an indelible mark on the fashion show's grand climax. Ridge's role isn't passive, he's constantly being tugged by the gravitational pull of their personalities. No sooner is one argument quelled than another flares up, leaving Ridge visibly torn and weary. He's always been the show's dashing rock, but in this charged scenario, even he struggles to maintain composure. Viewers keenly sense how exhausting it is to mediate such intense emotions, and Ridge's reactions, from exasperated sighs to tense glances, add layers of realism and relatability. Delving deeper, it's evident that the incident in the dressing room is more than a simple mishap, it's a metaphor for the larger dynamics at play. Trapped behind a locked door, Taylor and Brooke are forced to face each other without the usual escape routes or distractions. The fashion show's commotion outside mirrors their internal chaos, neither can overpower the noise nor each other. As the minutes drag on, desperation mounts. Arguments escalate, accusations fly, and the air thickens with words better left unsaid. This claustrophobic setting becomes a crucible for decades-old resentments, personal slights, and the unyielding competition both women feel over Ridge, and perhaps even over who can command the spotlight, both on stage and off. Meanwhile, the security measures that inadvertently lock the rivals in together are a clever nod to the episode's overarching theme: sometimes, the greatest obstacles are the ones we set to protect ourselves. Elaborate protections designed for the priceless showstopper gown turn into shackles. This duality is further explored when Brooke, initially so eager to wear the showstopper and steal the event, is herself stolen, her freedom, her moment, all gone because of a simple mistake. Taylor's well-intentioned attempt to confront Brooke privately backfires spectacularly, showing how even the best-laid plans can unravel. The frantic search outside the dressing room injects a fresh urgency into the narrative. Katie Logan's growing panic as she realizes Brooke's absence during the show's main event is painted with poignant detail. She's not just a sister, but a protector, and her anxiety triggers a chain reaction. Katie rallies the ever-supportive Will Spencer and the elegant, quick-witted Electra Forrester, forming a search party that brings new faces and dynamics into the spotlight. Their combined efforts turn into a race against time, and the hunt becomes a suspenseful subplot as they navigate backstage chaos, staff ignorance, and unhelpful security protocols. Imagining the search through Katie's perspective, we see flashes of memory, childhood moments with Brooke, old wounds healed and reopened, and Katie's determination hardening with every missed minute. Will, maturing into his own, brings a youthful optimism and sharp eye, while Electra's resourcefulness shines amid the growing confusion backstage. Together, their investigation uncovers more than just Brooke's whereabouts. It reveals unspoken fears, family bonds, and the lengths people go to for those they love. Back in the locked room, the emotional stakes continue to rise. Taylor and Brooke's dialogue becomes a battlefield, with words as weapons. Taylor, despite wishing for peace, is swept up in the cyclone of her own competitive instincts. She tries to explain, to apologize, but Brooke's fury is volcanic. She's convinced this was sabotage, a calculated move to ruin her triumph and diminish her in Ridge's eyes. The conversation is punctuated by banging on the door, desperate shouts, and moments when both women pause, breathless, overwhelmed by the futility of it all. As rescue approaches, viewers see the psychological transformation in both women. Taylor's remorse is genuine, tinged with fear that this mishap will stoke the flames of rivalry even more. Brooke's outrage slowly gives way to exhaustion, a realization that every battle leaves her more wounded than before. These quiet moments, though brief, offer insight into their shared history and complex personalities. When the door finally bursts open and the pair is freed, the aftermath is anything but calm. Ridge arrives in the nick of time, only to find himself at the epicenter of an even bigger storm. Brooke's frustration, having reached a boiling point, spills over publicly. She lambasts Taylor in front of everyone, guests, staff, and, most importantly, Ridge himself. Taylor, unable to defend herself adequately, is left humiliated but still defiant. Elektra and will look on, startled, while Katie tries to mediate but is swept away by the tidal wave of conflict. The fallout is seismic. The fashion show's success is overshadowed by interpersonal drama, and the guests sense the undercurrents of tension. Gossip ripples through the crowd, and the press picks up hints of scandal. Was the backstage debacle a publicity stunt, or the tip of a deeper iceberg at Forrester Creations? In a creative twist, imagine that as the episode closes, we see a montage of reactions: Ridge, silently questioning his choices; Taylor, gazing out a window, torn between regret and resolve; Brooke, alone with her thoughts, grappling with the loneliness that comes from perpetual combat. Katie, Elektra, and will share a quiet moment of solidarity, vowing to support each other no matter how fierce the storms get. In summary, Monday, April 28 delivers not just another round of fashion and drama, but a compelling study in rivalry, loyalty, and the unintended consequences of seeking glory. The locked room mystery is more than a plot device, it's a crucible for transformation, forcing everyone involved to confront truths about themselves and their relationships. And as always, the bold and the beautiful reminds us, the real showstopper isn't a dress or an event, but the fierce, flawed, and fascinating people who make it all happen. Next, we're diving into the drama and emotional complexity that swirled around the latest Forrester fashion show on The Bold and the Beautiful. Prepare yourself for an intricate exploration of backstage moments, irresistible glances, and relationships that prove nothing runs smoothly in the world of high couture and even higher stakes. In this analysis, we turn our attention to the far side of the runway, where silken gowns glitter and side-eyes cut sharper than the finest designer shears. A subtle power play, Katie's gaze and hidden messages. Let's start at the end. Katie Logan, a longtime force amidst the Forrester chaos, stood not merely as a guest at the show but as a silent commentator with eyes that could launch 1,000 rumors. Observers noted that her gaze was rarely at the models or even the dresses. Instead, it followed the people, particularly Carter and Daphne, as if deciphering a secret code written in quick glances and shared laughter. What is it about Katie that makes her such a formidable observer? Perhaps it's her history, her emotional intelligence honed by years within this family, her innate ability to sense shifts in loyalty and affection. As she watched Carter mingling with Daphne, a stunning woman whose confidence seemed almost cinematic, Katie's expression betrayed a complex storm of emotion: curiosity, perhaps a flicker of envy, and definite skepticism. This was not just casual observation, this was Katie broadcasting a silent warning or perhaps a confession of unresolved feelings. In the high-stakes game of Forrester relationships, such nonverbal communication often carries more meaning than the boldest declarations. Carter and Daphne, an unexpected dynamic. The chemistry between Carter and Daphne was palpable, an undercurrent that resonated through the show's glitzy atmosphere. Daphne, with her magnetic charm and poised ambition, is more than a mere plot device. She's an agent of chaos and possibility, urging Carter to consider a future with her. Their conversation was more than flirtation, it was a negotiation of hopes, anxieties, and potential betrayals. Carter, fresh from a recent heartbreak with Hope, found himself pulled in two directions. It's as if every interaction with Daphne is a test of his readiness to move forward. Does he genuinely feel a spark, or is he simply searching for solace? Daphne, ever patient but persistent, is caught between patience and the fear of being second best, a theme that resonates deeply with many who have loved and lost. From an analytical perspective, Carter's posture, open but tentative, suggests a man weighing possibilities. Is he using this new connection to mask deeper wounds? Or is this genuinely the start of something beautiful? The viewers are left to wonder, and Katie's watchful eyes provide a mirror to our own speculation. Katie and Carter, memories and unspoken feelings. To understand Katie's reaction, we need a lens into her past with Carter. Their romance was never built on sparks and chaos. It was a slow burn, office-based relationship marked by mutual respect rather than explosive passion. Their eventual pairing with others was met with grace, a rarity in this tumultuous universe. But was it really over for Katie? As she watched Carter lean toward Daphne, it's possible she saw him in a new light. Sometimes, it's only when we witness our former partners moving on that buried feelings resurface. The dynamic between Katie and Carter was amicably left behind, but the sight of Carter sharing an intimate moment with the alluring Daphne may have triggered a sense of loss, one she perhaps hadn't fully acknowledged until now. Let's not forget, human emotions are rarely as tidy as we wish them to be. The show masterfully plays with these ambiguities, allowing viewers to project their own interpretations onto every knowing glance and awkward smile. Hope, jealousy, and the shadows of the past. Meanwhile, Hope, Carter's recent love interest, hangs like a phantom in the background. Carter's emotional plea to Hope the day before the fashion show reveals that his heart isn't as available as Daphne might hope. Is Hope truly out of the picture, or is she an ever-present ghost haunting both Carter and Katie? Here, the show invites us to reflect on the nature of rebound relationships and the human tendency to look for closure in the arms of someone new. Katie's apparent peace with Carter and Hope's relationship may have been a facade, a self-protective shield she wore until faced with raw evidence of Carter's readiness to move on with yet another woman. The implications of these relationships go beyond simple jealousy. They touch on themes of self-worth, recovery, and the complex web of alliances that define this tight-knit yet competitive world. The arrival of Taylor, a scene-stealing entrance. Now, let's turn to the fashion show itself, and the gasp-inducing entrance of Taylor Hayes. There's an art to making an entrance, and Taylor, radiant in a baby blue silk gown, proved herself a true maestro. The fabric caught the runway lights and turned heads, not least among them Katie, who was already analyzing every detail with laser-like intensity. Taylor's presence was unexpected, a last-minute addition to the guest list that left Steffi both surprised and delighted. For Steffi, having her mother in attendance was a balm at a stressful moment. For Katie, Taylor's arrival was a catalyst for reflection and, perhaps, anxiety. Ridge, ever the gentleman, greeted Taylor warmly, reigniting old sparks and stirring the pot of romantic uncertainty. These subtle interactions, midst the flashbulbs and music, carry immense weight for those invested in the Forrester family saga. Guest list drama, behind the velvet rope. Behind the scenes, the curated guest list became a battleground of inclusion and exclusion. Katie, ever the dutiful guardian, was tasked with checking confirmations and relaying difficult news. When she informed Steffi that one guest wouldn't be able to attend, the disappointment was palpable but quickly overshadowed by the excitement of Taylor's impending arrival. The control over the guest list is more than logistical, it's symbolic of power and loyalty. Each name represents a potential alliance or threat, a testament to how personal and professional lives are inextricably entwined in this glamorous but perilous environment. Final reflections, interpreting the silent language of the show. Ultimately, the episode is a study in silent communication and the endless dance of affection, envy, and ambition that defines the Forrester world. Katie's expressive glances, Carter's emotional vulnerability, Daphne's hopeful persistence, and the shockwaves sent by Taylor's arrival all combine to create a potent cocktail of drama and suspense. As fans, we become interpreters of body language and tone, eagerly dissecting every moment for hidden meanings. The brilliance of the bold and the beautiful lies in its ability to transform even mundane logistics, a guest list, a sidelong glance, into moments of high drama that echo far beyond the runway. Next, we'll be diving deep into a fascinating web of secrets, family, and emotional revelations swirling around Liam Spencer, Finn, Steffy Forrester, and the rest of the cast of The Bold and the Beautiful. Prepare for an in-depth analysis, as we unravel the intricate drama and speculate on what the future may hold for these beloved characters. The weight of hidden truths, Liam's dilemma and the burden of secrecy. Let's begin at the heart of our story. Liam's agonizing decision to keep his medical condition private. While the specifics of his diagnosis remain shrouded in mystery for most, one can only imagine the emotional toll such a secret must take on him. Initially, Liam's instincts may have been to shield his loved ones from pain, but the act of concealment can lead to unintended consequences. Imagine the internal conflicts Liam battles. Perhaps he fears burdening those he cares about, or maybe he's clinging to hope that things might improve without alarming the family. Yet, the longer he withholds the truth, the greater the risk of betrayal, resentment, and missed opportunities for heartfelt goodbyes. Consider the psychological impact. Concealing serious news can cause isolation and anxiety. Liam's silence may create a growing chasm between himself and those who desperately want to support him. The act of withholding vital information is a double-edged sword. Protecting loved ones from immediate pain, but possibly causing deeper wounds down the line. Steffy's crossroads, torn between loyalty and justice. Steffy Forrester stands at an emotional crossroads, facing immense pressure from Finn and her own conscience. While she remains fiercely protective of Liam, Steffy must weigh the consequences of her involvement. Should she respect Liam's wishes for secrecy, or does her sense of justice compel her to inform others, like Hope, Thomas, and even Bill? This dilemma is further complicated by her complicated romantic history with Liam, a love that has withstood betrayal, heartbreak, and reconciliation over the years. A nuanced exploration of Steffy's psyche could reveal the depth of her struggle, her loyalty to Liam versus her duty to other family members. The thought of being the only confidant may be both empowering and emotionally taxing. Perhaps she revisits memories of past incidents where secrets led to devastation, influencing her current hesitance. If she chooses to break Liam's trust, she risks damaging a fragile friendship. If she stays silent, she may be complicit in causing further pain to Hope and others who deserve honesty. Hope's perspective, in the dark and on the sidelines. Hope Logan, blissfully unaware of the turmoil surrounding Liam, is the character most likely to be blindsided by the unfolding drama. As a mother and partner, Hope's investment in Liam's welfare is profound. Deprived of crucial information, she's left vulnerable to shock and heartbreak when the truth emerges. One can only imagine the depth of her feelings, betrayal, confusion, and ultimately, strength as she grapples with the revelation. In an inventive twist, perhaps Hope's intuition begins to pick up on subtle changes in Liam's behavior. A thoughtful glance, an unexplained absence, or veiled conversations could trigger suspicions. Her arc may evolve into a powerful narrative of agency and resilience, choosing to confront the painful reality head-on and demand honesty from both Steffy and Liam. This could become a defining moment for Hope, transforming her from a passive recipient of secrets into a proactive force in her own story. Finn's mission: advocate for transparency and healing. Dr. John Finn Finnegan, always the voice of reason and compassion, emerges as a pivotal figure. His medical background and empathetic nature drive him to advocate for full disclosure to the family. Finn sees more than just a patient, he sees the delicate fabric of relationships at stake. Perhaps he recognizes the healing power of collective support, urging Liam to trust his loved ones with the truth. Imagine Finn orchestrating a heartfelt intervention, gathering Bill, Katie, Wyatt, Hope, Beth, Thomas, and Douglas in an intimate setting to reveal the gravity of Liam's situation. He may present compelling arguments, woven with personal anecdotes about the healing salve of unity in times of crisis. His involvement might even rekindle old alliances, opening doors for reconciliation between estranged family members. Finn's actions could be the catalyst for a new era of openness and emotional honesty among the Spencers, Forresters, and Logans. Family dynamics and the ripple effect. It's important to analyze how the ripple effects of this secret would play out among the broader family. Bill Spencer, often the stoic patriarch, might show a rare moment of vulnerability, struggling to reconcile his tough exterior with concern for his son. Wyatt could step into a supportive brotherly role, offering strength and solidarity. Meanwhile, the return of Thomas and Douglas to the narrative could add layers of complexity, old rivalries reawakened, or perhaps an opportunity for forgiveness and growth. Douglas, still young but astute, could sense the tension and provide a child's perspective, a reminder of innocence lost and the need for truth in times of uncertainty. Beth, too, might ask difficult questions, prompting heartfelt conversations about legacy, family, and hope. Thematic underpinnings: love, loyalty, and redemption. At its core, this storyline isn't just about illness or the threat of loss, it's a profound meditation on the nature of love, the limits of loyalty, and the avenues for redemption. Every character stands to learn something vital: the importance of vulnerability, the joy of reconciliation, and the necessity of forgiveness. These themes resonate powerfully with viewers, mirroring real-life struggles and the choices we all must make when faced with the fragility of human existence. From a creative standpoint, the writers could explore symbolism, a cherished family heirloom passed down, representing the unbroken chain of support. Or recurring motifs of light and shadow, underscoring the battle between secrecy and revelation.